Corona Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 194 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and if you are listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thank you so much for listening to How About That Cigar Live when you drive down the road, when you work out, whatever it is you do, when you listen to your favorite audio podcast. Thanks so much for making us a part of it. And here in the Corona Cigar Studios, it is a balmy 33 degrees outside.
Ooh.
It's been snowing almost continuous. Not really, but I bitch about the snow.
You know what? There's always going to be more snow.
Yeah, it's going to
coming soon to a Minnesota area near you.
It's going to snow again Wednesday. It's going to snow again most of the weekend. So when Garrett comes home from DR, he'll be coming home to snow. You're welcome.
Garrett. Wait. Garrett's in the DR?
Garrett's in the DR.
Oh, wow.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
we might just talk about that in a little bit.
We might talk about oh, wow. This is going to be exciting.
So sports-wise, there's been a lot going on in the NHL because of trades and things like that. Minnesota Wild have made tons of moves. But a lot of Swedish guys. We brought on 5 new Swedes, which I don't mind so much.
I mean, the Swedes are good at hockey.
That's a very good thing. We brought on some good players. The Wild have won 8 out of their last 10, and 2 of those were shutouts.
Okay.
One shutout for Fleury, 1 shutout for Gustafsson. So our goaltenders are playing really well. And one of the big trades was we traded off Jordan Greenway to Buffalo, which I'm kind of sad to see Greenway go, but we got a 3rd round. So in exchange for him, we get a 3rd round pick this year. We get a 4th round pick next year, and we free up $3 million in salary space.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying the Wild are playing exceptionally well right now at the right time. So I think, optimism is rampant in my brain right now when it comes to hockey. I think the Wild are in a good place. We'll see how it goes. Spring training is still going. So the Twins appear to be doing pretty well. Pitching appears to be pretty well. Some of our pitchers have been throwing up in the mid to high 90 mile per hour range. So I'm very happy to see that. Football wise, there's not much going on. I mean, there's a few trades and a few players released by the Vikings and the Packers. Aaron Rodgers still is in his darkness retreat or whatever. So he still hasn't made a decision. I have no idea what's going to happen with that. But I don't know. We'll see. So I think it is definitely time for us to get into our main segment of the evening.
Okay.
And our main segment brought to us by our friends at Drew Estate. And they are proud to announce the all-new Acid Cigars Cuba Variety 3-pack, specifically designed to both broaden the palette of acid cigar enthusiasts and expand awareness of the full Drew Estate portfolio of products. The Cuba Variety 3-pack also presents on-the-go consumers with tremendous value. For the price of 2 Acid Cuba Cubas, purchasers receive 3 cigars in total, with a free Undercrown Shade cigar included in the pack. The specially selected cigars inside the Cuba Variety 3-packs are all Robustos and are packaged inside resealable fresh packs with Boveda humidification pouches to ensure that they remain fresh until they are enjoyed. With an MSRP of $21.90 per pack, the Acid Cuba Variety 3-packs from Drew Estate will be available nationally beginning in late February, which was last week. So they're available now.
To all your retailers near you.
To all the retailers near you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please put your hands together and welcome to episode 194 of How About That Cigar Live, coming to us from the Dominican Republic, from Adventura Cigars, Henderson Ventura, and you may recognize as well Mr. Garrett Robinson. Gentlemen, welcome to How About That Cigar Live.
How about that cigar, guys? How you guys doing?
It sucks in Minnesota right now, but it's okay. We are living through you because we know it's beautiful and warm down there. So we appreciate the fact that at least some people that we know and care about can hang out in that beautiful warm weather and enjoy some fine cigars. So welcome. It's great to have you guys on.
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. The weather is beautiful here. I'm here with my brother Garrett. More than happy to have this guy here at the DR. So I hope that he have a great week here, man. He look all Cuban already, like white red, white hat,
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised none of it got dirty after working all day and this big feast you just had. And
yeah, you're still
clean.
Still clean.
Still keeping it clean, bro.
Yeah, and wearing white shoes also, like all white.
Oh.
And look like.
Well, the only way to truly get, the only way to truly get dirty is to actually the only way to truly get dirty is to do some work. So I know there's no.
Yeah,
I know there's no risk of that. So
yeah, I did not do any of that. But, no, it is absolutely beautiful here. It is incredible. The people are great. I can't say enough. It's amazing.
I heard that he ate the whole pig already.
Dude, I ate an entire pig cheek, and I'm not mad. And it was skin was crunchy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please tell me it's got crispy skin. That's where all the goodness is right there.
Dude, we had McDonald's for breakfast, which
McDonald's.
What?
Listen.
What?
Listen.
No.
I protested it, but you know what? Dominican McDonald's breakfast kicks the shit out of American McDonald's breakfast. I had plantains.
Really?
Yeah. They have plantains for McDonald's breakfast. Their breakfast burritos are 3 times the size of the U.S. breakfast burritos.
Okay.
Their hash browns are twice as thick as American hash browns. I wasn't mad at all.
Why are you keeping such a secret from us, Henderson? We've never heard of this McDonald's he speaks of.
I never have the American a McDonald's breakfast here.
Okay.
You haven't had McDonald's breakfast here?
No, I never.
Dude, they have plantains with the onion on it.
Yeah,
all right.
and Henderson's sitting there thinking to himself, "There's like
a nice spot that you will be looking for."
Yeah, it's like there's 100 places I could bring you to with breakfast 1,000 times better than fucking McDonald's.
Hey, shout out to all my people from Mexico there. What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Oh, and I was going to talk about this before we brought you guys on, but I'm going to put us on the solo layout.
Yeah.
And we have, so it's a work in progress here at How About That Cigar Live. So you'll see we got a new camera as our main camera here in the center. And if you'll pay close attention to your screen,
ooh,
we have a second camera. We will be adding a third and a fourth camera soon. But just want to let you guys know that we are always improving things here at How About That Cigar How About That Cigar for you. And this new camera, I'm so obsessed with this because it focuses like crazy, and I'm just obsessed with this new camera. If you guys are listening on the Auto Pack podcast, I'm sorry, you need to go on YouTube and watch, so that way you can see all the gloriousness of the cameras and the lenses and all the things. But wanted to share that before we got too far down the road. But also, before we get too far down the road, I finished my pregame cigar, and now it is time for me to light my main cigar of the evening. I'm going to smoke King's Gold in this beautiful Corona Gorda size, which is my favorite.
Look at that focus.
So I am going to be lighting this cigar right now, and I'm going to do that on the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Toast Cam. You going to read?
Lighting your cigar. It's important to be patient, pay close attention to detail, and focus on the tobacco. In the same way, Steve Saka breathed those same qualities to ultra premium cigars of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Patience, close attention, and focus on the tobacco are the qualities that Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust have become known for, from Sombre Mesa to Umbagad. Dunbarton has a blend that will fit your palate, your mood, and any occasion. Visit dunbartoncigars.com to learn more.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Switch us back there. Look at that smooth transition. I can't even take it. Anyway, so guys, Henderson, you guys are live in the DR. It is a beautiful night where you guys are. We're going to focus on the beautiful night that you guys have going with you. But I neglected to ask before we, got into things. If you guys would please, Henderson, start with you. What are you smoking right now with us?
If you can appreciate how look is good on the camera right here. This is Aventura Barbacoa Invasion Corona. That was the last release we have last year. Actually, I'm smoking the first batch and the only batch that we make last year. I mean, the only batch that we released last year, because the second batch that we did last year got burned down in the factory. So that's what we're smoking right now. It's smoking beautiful after almost a year of age.
Very nice. Garrett, what do you have fired up?
So I have a Conqueror.
Yep.
This has got about a year on it. How much does this have on it?
This one have 3 months on it.
Oh, just 3 months?
Just 3 months.
Wow. Smoking awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. So one of the things we definitely want to talk about, we talked about it a little bit when we visited with you at the trade show, Henderson, but we definitely want to get kind of the broader story of, how you guys are focusing on rebuilding, because, unfortunately, there was a tragic fire, and, it's something that, you guys are working through to rebuild and to, come back bigger and better than ever. So give us a little bit of an idea of, how things are going with rebuilding and where the process is at right now.
The rebuilding is going well, man. We started like a 2 month ago to rebuild the factory. Hopefully the building is going to be done by July. We're looking forward to start the operation in the new factory by January next year. So it's looking well. Right now, we're making cigar out of the old factory that is called El Maestro factory. We used to have 2 factory ones. The main ones that got burned down, and then the other one that was El Maestro that my dad was running cigar out of there, just like by his personal stash and some little projects there. So luckily we have that second location that we will be able, to move on. So we started to roll cigars there like November last year. And everything's going well. I mean, it's been tough time. We've been readjusting, all the operation. And we're gonna be doing the first shipment out of this factory by next week. We started to ship the first Aventura cigars. So that's what's going on, man. It's just pushing hard, getting everything on place. And moving on, it's been some challenge time for me, but for me it's like a new beginning. It's just like starting everything from scratch, and it feels good. I've never been in a comfortable position in this business, so I'm used to to the hustle, to the grind, to just be pushing, building.
Yeah, and that's good to hear that you got a positive attitude about it. And, you also are, even though nobody wants to see anybody go through a tragedy like a major fire at their factory or their facility, but in a strange, sort of bittersweet way, you're in very good company, because some of the biggest names in the whole world of premium cigars have seen tragedies like this, throughout their family history. The Fuentes have had fires. The Padrones have had fires. So many have had this happen, and they've come back bigger and stronger afterwards. And it sounds like you've got the right mindset. You've got a good positive attitude. And I just see big things, and believe that you guys have the tools and the people you need to overcome and come back stronger.
I appreciate it. I mean, that was my last wish, to do that, come back bigger and stronger. I wish that this never happened, but things happen in life for a reason. So, I mean, my attitude is just like, man, there's one thing that I know how to do in my life, that is cigars and tobacco. I have no other choice. I have no other way to take, and I will never take another way. So, I mean, every time that we pass through a difficult situation like this, it's just like it's very cliche, but this is how it is. Remember why you started. And I might have started in this business for a reason, and I never gonna stop, man. Like we're saying in Ventura, we're here to stay. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the trade show, it's interesting to talk to a couple other brands that were in your factory as well, and they all have the same mentality, the same focus. So you can tell from you to the rest of the other brands that are in your that were affected by the fire. It was really cool to talk to them and see that flow all the way across to them, and they're all in the same boat too, and all on board with building better and coming back even stronger too. So props up to you guys.
Yeah, great point.
sometimes it's good to not have enough space in the factory, so we have like a multiple storage to storage the tobacco, because we couldn't fit like all the tobacco we have in one location. Because if it wasn't that the situation, we have a bigger factory and we have all the tobacco and everything in one place. It's could be worse,
Yeah.
At least we able to, Ken Rollins cigar, we ate tobacco, and we lost a big part of tobacco. I mean, all the wear and age stuff that I have, like over 5 years, 6, 7 years, 8 years of age of the tobacco. There was like a small portion of tobacco that I was saving, every year just to have like those special tobacco, like for limited edition, and that's everything lost. That's all the tobacco that I lost. But then everything else, like for the main production, it was like storage in another warehouse. So we're good on that side. And I mean, Gary can tell, like smoking a Conqueror with 3 months of age, and tastes like maybe a 10 years old cigar or something like that, and
this is ready to smoke right now.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
What's up, Habibi? Habibi in the house. Habibi in the house.
We love Ronnie.
Can I
one of the other things? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Garrett.
No, I want to ask a question. So, with the relationships and the other projects that you had going on in the factory, were any of those jeopardized with the fire? And if so, how did you kind of navigate that?
I mean, it's very challenging because we lost 1.2 million cigar on the aging room. We have like pending production to be done over 800,000 cigars. So it's like for us, it's like a recovering to make like a 2 million cigars, to catch the demand right there that we have. And right now, after the pandemic, the cigar industry is suffer like a so boom kind of thing, going on. So it's been like it's not just us that is making like a good amount of cigar. It's every single factory they have a big demand. So we kind of suffering like a roller war, in the town. So it's very hard to get like new rollers.
Yeah.
And sometimes we trying to get rollers, we lose some rollers, then we gain more rollers, So it's some inconsistency on the amount of people that we can have in the factory. I mean, but we make it work. We do the move that we need to do, and we are slowly gonna be there. The relationship that we have, luckily, they're very strong, and they've been supporting our family big time. So I know we're gonna suffer like a some loss on maybe some people that gonna feel like some kind of the separate, to get cigar, on time. But it is what it is, man. Like you cannot rush a process. You cannot rush a cigar. It takes the time that I need to take. And
Yeah.
we never gonna take like a shortcut, to make things happen. Everything need time. Cigar need time. And it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that I'm curious about is because, like you said, you were fortunate that you did have some places outside of the factory that burned. You had some places outside of there where you had some tobacco in storage. But at the same time, I'm sure you still needed to get your hands on some other tobaccos. Maybe sometimes you have to scramble a little bit to get the materials that you need to get the other factory up and running so you can start making cigars again. And when something like this happened, was it sort of, although it was very stressful, I'm sure, but did it give you the opportunity, the good opportunity to build some new relationships, maybe with some tobacco people, so that you were able to get your hands on tobaccos that you needed for production? Or did you still get those from old sources that you had already had relationships with?
I mean, we've been in business for 17 years now, and we are very grateful that we have a great relationship with the people that do business with, tobacco suppliers and everybody out there. One of the biggest loss that we have, it was we all the Ecuadorian wrapper. Right now, Ecuadorian wrapper is not like a pain in the ass, to get, because is Ecuador tobacco is controlled by Dominicans pretty much. Like all the farmers there is controlled by Dominicans companies. So we got a good relationship here with the people. It wasn't a big deal, the first 2 months, it was like a things of timing, to everybody get ready, and deliver the tobacco that we needed, for the production. But thanks God, we're good on that side. We have everything we need. We also have like a big inventories in another warehouse, so it was good enough, to keep running, for the next year, and yeah, we're good on that side. I mean, we for sure we still looking for, to get more tobacco, recover part in the inventory that we have with the wrapper, to do the right processing that we do in house and all that. But we there, the quality is there. We have the tobacco, so we good on that side. Let me say hello to a couple guys here. James Garcia from Black Luxury Cigar. That's my people. They're here in the Dominican Republic. I just have dinner with them in my house. We have an amazing day together. We went through some blending seminar today,
Cool.
sharing some blending experience, how we work in the factory. Uh, Shout out to Chris Duquette from out of Hawaii. That's my boy. Jaquin out of Canada. What's up, all guys?
Love it. Love it. So I have kind of related to the relationships you have, being in business so long. One of the things that I have loved seeing, visiting Esteli, Nicaragua a couple times, is most of the cigar factories in the Esteli area are pretty close together. So there's a pretty close community of people who own factories, people who factory managers, supervisors, that kind of thing, people who grow and source tobacco. But I've only been to one cigar factory in Dominican Republic, and it was more of a tourist area than actual dedicated full-time cigar production. And I'm curious about the area that you're in. Is it kind of the same sense of family and community in the area, where there are a lot of cigar people, and the community is very strong, and there's a good sense of people being there to lend a hand, to you can reach out for help and know that you'll usually get somebody who will, raise their hand and say, yeah, I'm here to help you. How is the community of cigar people in that area?
Man, it's big. I mean, we are in Santiago. Santiago is like at the capital tobacco for the world. I mean, we have the big. We out of Santiago is like the biggest exportation of any kind of tobacco product in the whole world, like bigger than everybody else. I mean, we grow a ton of tobacco here for exportation and local production, and we like in my town, that is Tamboril, is like the cigar town. We're talking about over 80% of the population there live out of the tobacco, mostly manufacturing. Um, and then more in the west of Santiago is like a more like a tobacco growing, all the tobacco farm, and processing and all that. So, I mean, it's very close. So everything is very connected. I mean, there is like a tobacco region for farming is like a 30 minutes away from Tamboril. That is my town, and Tamboril is like I would say 90% of the rollers come out of Tamboril in the whole country. They come from that town. So, I mean, everything is very connected. Everything is very close. We have hundreds of factory in Tamboril, like a lot of little factories and some big factory also. So, yeah, this is like a
Yeah.
cigar town right here.
Yeah, that's and also from a farming perspective, is something I've seen at a few different places, and we talked a little bit to Jeff Borshowitz about this last week. That he grows tobacco in Central Florida, so it's a little different. But he talked about how the as far as the elevation goes and things like that, it's very similar to tobacco growing regions in Dominican Republic. And the only real difference, he said, is that the soil has more sand in it. It's not so dense of a soil. So when it comes to growing tobacco in the areas around you in Dominican Republic, do you see a big difference from one farm to another with just the look and the texture of the soil, or is everything in that area pretty much the same type of soil? It just depends on the seed varietal that gets planted.
It's a similar kind of soil. Something that makes some difference here is more like climate. We have a lot of microclimate here. I mean, more on the east side of Santiago is like more. It rains more. The climate is a little bit colder, and more in the west of Santiago is more dry, and the temperature is even like a 10 degrees hotter than in the east. So that's what make a big difference here. Is especially on the west of Santiago, we grow all the filler pretty much for the whole country, and this is tobacco, that offer you like a more strength, like a more oil, because the sun hit very hard into the farms, and so it's more oily. The aroma, the flavor, the strength of the tobacco is a little bit higher in the west. And then the east side of Santiago is that is more cold and raining. We grow more binder, like more like a lower Dominicana tobacco, and the tobacco grow a little bit bigger. The only thing on the west, you have more access to river, that pass through all that area, and in the east you don't have any access to river. So, like in my farm that is more in the east of Santiago, in Villa Gonzalez, you get like a river that crosses like right in the middle of the farm, and we water the farm like we natural water, like not processed water, like straight to the farm. On the east, that is like a more around Tamboril area, and more east, that is like a San Vito, that is the area that is like the main area for Olo Dominicana tobacco. It's more like if it rains, you get the water, the tobacco gets some water. If it doesn't rain, the tobacco stays shorter. So is more like in the East is more typical, more it depends more on the natural resources, and then on the East is more controlled. So even sometimes it's better on the west side because as doesn't rain that much in that area, but you have the river there, so you can apply as much water as you need into that tobacco, and you don't get like we have 2 weeks that it's been raining the whole time, and then it's gonna change the quality of the tobacco that much. So it's kind of interesting, how is that different areas to grow tobacco here in the Dominican Republic. I mean, there is some difference on the soil, but in Santiago, it's not many difference in the soil. It's more about the microclimate that make the big difference there.
And I suppose rain can, we always think if it's something that grows, rain is a good thing, but rain when it's too much, I've heard that it can damage tobacco leaves. It can tear tobacco leaves, or water spots can make discoloration or holes, things like that. Is that the case?
No. I mean, water spot, you get that kind of problem, like a water spot on the tobacco if it happens on the curing process.
Okay.
So that's one of the most delicate process on the tobacco. That is the current process. I mean, for the look of the tobacco, and also for the physical and chemistry, process of the tobacco. That's what is happening. If you have like any too much humidity in the tobacco when it's in the curd process, it can those humidity can stick into the leaf, and you can and those spots can stay green, on the leaf. Also, you can get like a kind of damage in the leaf, like some kind of, how do you say, like fungals, like bacterials and stuff like that. Blemishes. So, but that's more the curd process. If you have like if the vein on the tobacco breaks when they hang in the tobacco, that could the physical and chemistry process and the curd process. So because everything is going through the vein of the tobacco, and all the nutrients and nicotine is staying in the main vein of the leaf. So if you have any damage in the leaf, that's can change the look, the texture, the flavor, the actual natural chemistry of the tobacco leaf. So that's how it is.
Okay.
I mean, you get some kind of like a blue mold and stuff like that. That if it's get affected on the cold season, like more in January, that is very dangerous. Or like for tobacco, if you don't do the right treatment, you can get like some white spot, that stay on the leaf.
Okay.
So
and I heard that there's kind of a bit of a drought right now where it hasn't rained for a while, and
it's very dry right now. So right now is very difficult for the curd process. More like if the curd process and the tobacco go from 45 days to 55 days. Then you take the tobacco out of the barns, but if it's too dry, you just leave it there until it's rain and get moisture again.
Brittle.
Yeah, it's got like a too dry and can crack the tobacco and break the tobacco. So
interesting.
So one of the things that I like to talk to people about, I don't think I've asked you this yet, Henderson, and it's kind of about tobaccos from all over different places of the world, because there are, there's a lot available out there. And is there a particular type of leaf that maybe somebody gives you some of, and you or maybe buy some, or you get your hands on some to try out? It could be from Peru or Colombia or who knows where, and maybe a tobacco that just when you sample it, it gives you an aroma and a flavor that you maybe weren't expecting, or is better than you thought it would be. Have you gotten your hands on some tobaccos like that in the past? And used them in a project, or said to yourself, I'm going to set these aside, and this is something I'm definitely going to be using someday, where a particular batch just really gives you some great flavor and aroma that was kind of unexpected?
Yeah, actually, we did a cigar like that last year. They call it the Chancellor. That was a tobacco that was a hybrid seed with Piloto Cubano and another like a three different variety of tobacco, all hybrid. And that was an experiment that will be that like we were trying with that tobacco here in the Dominican Republic for the last 7 years. But 3 years ago, we took some seed and we grew that tobacco in Pennsylvania, and it was very interesting. I freak out about it because it gives you like that kind of Cuban Dominican flavor profile, but way more intense and way more spicy. And it was like that tastes like a tobacco that is a blend already. With some Dominican cigars, something else that bring a lot of body, like something like a Pennsylvania double head or something like that. And just the tobacco by itself tasted like that. And yeah, I tried different tobacco for all around the world. This is like my full-time job, to just be trying different stuff, different tobacco, looking for something new, different flavor profile. I mean, I've been touching my one of the things we have done many projects like that. We have like the Explorer, that is a hybrid tobacco, hybrid Habano grown in Mexico. We spent we've been trying that tobacco over 10 years, and I will say 6 years ago we decided to put that tobacco in a blend that was Explorer. I don't think that you ever have any cigar with that wrapper. We also I have smoked some Colombian tobacco, some African tobacco, some tobacco from Guatemala, some Brazilian tobacco that are very unique, or some Brazilian tobacco but grow in Ecuador, Palo de Oro, other Cuban seeds growing in Peru, Costa Rica, all around, man. We try everything for all around.
Yeah.
Now, is the Chancellor going to make it back to production?
Yeah, a Chancellor is going to be released by the fall. And this is, I will say, one of the most unique cigar that we ever put out. The cigar is not something that it is weird. That cigar, when I smoke that cigar, I feel like this is something very unique and different, and I like it. And sometimes I like it, I don't like it. But the thing that I have two blends in my whole portfolio that wasn't blend by myself. The Navigator was a blend that my dad was the one that put his hand on the Aventura, and then the Chancellor is a blend that was done by my brother. So it's more like my brother style blending, and it's like I know it's a great cigar. It's just I feel it's not for me, but I still can enjoy the cigar.
Yeah.
It's not a cigar that I'm gonna be like I wish I can make a cigar like that. Like this is my kind of cigar, but it's a great cigar. I mean, and that's
incredible.
First of all, before a blender and before a manufacturer, I'm a cigar lover and I'm a cigar aficionado. So I never close my brain, to appreciate different stuff that maybe is not my profile, but I can recognize that is something very good. Is that blend is super clean, as Ronnie say right there, like very sophisticated. I would say one of the most sophisticated cigar we ever made, and this is something that I think is gonna be very unique in the market. I don't think there is no cigar in the market that can taste close to this one right there.
I think that's great, and it's so cool to hear you say that. Even with everything else going on with rebuilding and having to move production to a different facility and all that you are still obviously you're focusing mostly on making sure that your core lines are up to production and available for the consumers out there that love your products, but also that you're constantly working on stuff behind the scenes to just and it's I know it's a fun part of the process for you. It's a part of the process that you really enjoy, is creating new things and looking for that next new fun and exciting flavor profile and aroma profile. So it's really good to hear that you're still working behind the scenes on new stuff, even with everything else going on.
I'll tell you something, man. It's like I tell you, I never been like in a comfortable spot, and for me, when something like that happened to me, is like I feel like the whole universe is going against me, and I feel like great because I have like some competition, like with myself, or with I have to prove something to life, and I feel like now is my time to, this is like yeah, I love that. I love the difficult. I love like the downs. I love like the challenging part of life. That's when
The struggle.
that's when real men come true and show their best. And for
Yeah.
me it's like yeah, this happened. If someone think that they're gonna sit me down, you run, man. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna like no one can. I mean, this is me. I mean, that's my inner thinking all the time, and and I mean, I started my farm like 3 years ago. 2 years ago, we took that like a full crop, and I'm like this happened, but then I'm tasting the tobacco for the farm. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I get so excited. I get like so motivated because I have tobacco that gonna come out in a few years that I feel like we have no competition right now. Like this is like there's no tobacco that can taste like more clean, more like with that flavor as the tobacco that we're growing right now. Is amazing. So it's keep me excited. It's always everything that something bad happened. In another hands, there is something great that is happening. So I mean, this is life. Nothing is complete in life. When you feel that you're doing great, always some bullshit happen. And you just need to keep your head straight. And that's what it is, man.
I love it. I love it. Honestly, if we all had that attitude,
Yeah, I mean,
the world would be a hell of a better place.
it's like once you become comfortable, it's like you got to get uncomfortable to keep moving forward, and that's
Yeah.
when you overcome that adversity. So good job there, Henderson.
No, thanks, man. And something also that keep me like that, man. I think I have a lot of good people around me. I've been building a lot of good relationship of great people that always call me, that always make sure that I'm right. I can tell you I have my down moment, because I grew up in that factory that burned down. I spent more than half of my life trying to build that business, and 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 yeah, there is some big feeling, that going through a lot of memories. There's a lot of effort that you feel that got wasted there. There's a lot of projects and a lot of things that we were doing great. We were putting our best, into that you just feel like a vanish, in 1 second. So yeah, like when I feel like wow, if this didn't happen, I will be here, I will be that nice, that comfortable, that chill, or we could be doing that great. I feel like wow, I feel those down. But always when that happened, I have a friend that called me, and say like, bro, like I'm here for you. You're great. Like let's do it. Like I have a lot of good people. I can't complain about that. And I think sometimes if you feel that you have everything, I mean, if you don't have people, you don't have shit.
One comment in the chat. You got Chris.
Oh,
Can you talk
yeah.
about how the pirate theme came about?
Yeah, this is it's a great story, but I love it. So
I mean,
people who
I'm
haven't heard the
not
story,
the right person to ask that question. This is something more about Marcel.
Okay.
But so the story we have in Ventura is more about how everything started with the cigar industry when the Europeans like went exploring, they navigate, and they land into the Caribbean island, and they conquer the land, and that's all the concept with with the Aventura. We have the Explorer, that is the first line. Then we have the Navigator, that is the second line that we released. Then we have the Conqueror, and then we have the Royal Return. So the Royal Return is in a story. After you conquer the land, you bring back the goods to the European continent, and they bring back the goods like the gold and tobacco and cacao and all that. They bring all that back to the royal family in Europe. So that's why the Royal Return have two blends. One is called the Queen's Pearl, and another one is called the King's Gold. One is a gift for the Queen, another one is a gift for the King. And the whole things, that's why I also make those two blends very special. It's a gift to the Queen and a gift to the King, so you should make the best out of what you have for the royal family. And then the continued story with that is the Chancellor. The Chancellor is the right hand for the King, and everything is connected. Then we close that chapter. That is the first chapter of Aventura. And then we have the second chapter. There is more like a mystic story about Aventura. And we have Barbaroja invasion. That is more pirate. And we have La Llorona. That is more folklore. And this is go out of the story of what is Aventura. And it's a limited edition, so it's go out of the concept. But Barbaroja, and then it's follow up the story with different character, with pirates and all that. So everything's connected, with those trips, back and forth between the old continent and the new continent.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, it's exciting to know that there's that there's always stuff being worked on behind the scenes. Also exciting to know that the cigars that we have come to know and love, we're still going to be able to get our hands on those at our local brick and mortar retailers. And that's what matters to us as consumers is consistency, knowing that we'll show up at our shop. The cigars we love are going to be on the shelf, and that they're gonna taste and smell the same way that they did before. And we, hats off to you, and cheers to you and your team for keeping up the good work. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Something that I can tell you about that, the consistency, cigars is a product that depends a lot of different natural resources, and also is made by hand by humans. It's not a machine making a cigar. I'm not warranty that the cigar is going to be the same, but it could be better now.
Yeah. Well,
it could be better now. Or they're as same as good or better, man.
That's what. Hey, there's no. As long as you're not taking a step back, it's all good, man. It's all good.
And just calling back to our episode with the AI chatbot, what was really cool is the AI even said that cigar curing and making isn't a science, it's an art, which was cool for this AI to recognize and see that even with all the technology in the world, that there's an art form to working with tobacco, that it's not this exact science. So
I mean, I will tell you, the science with the tobacco is one thing, is that human factor of how much passion and how much respect you have for tobacco to do the things right. There's not a lot of science behind the tobacco. There is, but not a lot. I mean, but the things that matter most in the tobacco is that take care and the respect that you pay to the tobacco to do the things in the right way. And that's what makes the difference,
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it is. I mean, tobacco, since the first day that you plant that, I mean, from the first day that you started to do the germination on the strays, and you replant the tobacco on the soil, and then the dates, every day counts after you plant those tobacco in the soil until you harvest the tobacco, and that, like, you never rest. Harvesting, current process, then fermentation process, The only time that you get to rest with that tobacco is when you finish the fermentation, you put the tobacco on bell, and you let it rest and age. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I love it. So Garrett, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it time?
Ooh, I think it is time.
Time for what?
It is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos is brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn.
Honest Steve here from Smokin' Cigars. It is that time of year again, the Great Smoke 2023 Mardi Gras Madness. Whether you're coming down live or going to be enjoying the event from the comfort of your own home, your ticket price includes this epic package. It's one of our greatest Great Smoke packages in the history of this event. Over $400 worth of product and great swag for the low cost of $165. Do not hesitate. Tickets are selling this year faster than ever. Go to www.thegreatsmoke.com and get your live general admission ticket, your virtual ticket if you're going to enjoy it from home, and tickets for either the dinner or the brunch. Epic time. We can't wait to see you all there. The Great Smoke 2023. Mardi Gras Madness.
All right, Numero de los Muertos, episode 194. Garrett, what do you have for us this week?
This week, I have, on average, every hour, 2 people die here.
Oh, it's a place.
Place, huh?
It's a place. All right. As always, viewers, if you guys have guesses, leave them in the comments. We'll play along with Henderson and try to guess. So, on average, 2 people a day die at this place.
2 people an hour.
2 people an hour. That's much higher.
That sounds like a Dominican Republic, like by accident.
Are you planning something there, Henderson?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That sounds like a
Shut up.
Dominican
No, it's
Republic,
not.
like car motorcycle accident.
Is it really?
What is it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the traffic here is the best.
Bro,
Is that like like the Niagara Falls guess? Is that just about as bad as the
I think it's right there. So day one, like going from the airport to the Airbnb, I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
you thought you're gonna die?
There's no lanes. There's motorcycles traveling the opposite direction.
Doing willing.
Crazy people, like 3, sometimes 4 people on a little motorcycle. It's insane. Like since I've been here, I can't believe I haven't seen an accident yet. But bro, how do you drive here?
So here, you cannot use the cell phone. You have to be paying attention to every single corner, every single mirror. Like you need to think like for the guy that is going in front of you. Like let me see which move this guy is gonna make. All right. So this is how we drive here. Like here is more stressful to drive for 30 minutes than in the state for a whole day.
100%.
I can drive easy 8 hours in the state without getting stressed, and here like 30 minutes of driving is get you like more stressful than that.
I've heard a horn of a car. It surpasses New York by an incredible amount. I've heard horns honk here more than I've heard in my lifetime in Minnesota. Because they're just honking necessarily to say, get the hell out of my way. They'll honk just to say, I'm here.
Yeah.
And it's insane. It's constant.
So two people every hour are killed in is it specifically in that area in Santiago, or is it
No, there's the whole country.
The whole country.
Whoa. Whoa, because my wife and I were over in the tourist area over in Punta Cana, a few years ago, and
That's not República Dominicana.
yeah,
That's Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So we call, in Spanish, the country is called República Dominicana. And we call Punta Cana is not República Dominicana, but it's the Dominican Republic. It's like another country. It's like the tourist area, something different.
It was nothing but American and Russian tourists. It's crazy. It's amazing how many Russians have like full-time vacation homes in Punta Cana. It's just Canadians, Americans, and Russians just sitting on the beach acting like idiots, basically.
Yeah. So my first car ride here, I was like, I need to look this up because this is going to be the Numero de los Muertos. I know people die a lot on these roads.
2 every hour. That's bonkers.
2 an hour is the average.
Yikes. So basically stay off the roads if you're able to.
So
but mostly at least like a 70% is motorcycle.
I would
Okay.
agree. From what I've seen, it's just.
Is it a law that you have to wear a helmet on a motorcycle?
No.
Well, the thing is we don't have much law here. Like there is a law, but there is like you don't need to follow the law.
They serve beer through the drive-through at McDonald's.
Yeah, they do.
Did you get one with your little breakfast there?
No,
I did not. I did not.
Beer at the drive-through. That's okay.
Okay.
That's
So is it not illegal to drink and drive here?
Only if you
Is that legal? But if the police stop me, I just hand you my beer, like all the beer.
Hold this while I get my license.
hold my beer.
say to the cop, hold my beer. Oh boy. It's more of a suggestion than an actual law. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Oh man. So that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, let's jump into the lightning round, brought to us by J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and the American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 112-year-old El Reloj Cigar Factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right, so we have some fresh lightning round questions for Henderson since he's been on the show before, and I know he's gotten some of these older ones before. We got some new ones. So let's go with this first one. So Henderson, if you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, and you can't say cigars, money, or time, but if there's any other thing you could have an unlimited supply of for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Calling it like it is. No hesitation. Women. No hesitate. Just boom. That's a. If you had a microphone, this would be a mic drop moment right now. Wow. I love it. I love it. Oh man. All right. So Henderson, if you were suddenly a billionaire, what would be the first thing that you would spend? This first unnecessary, fun thing that you would spend some money on with your $1 billion?
I'll disappear for a year of vacation. Just traveling all around the world.
Ronnie says women again.
He also says your wife's going to stab you.
I just don't want to be too obvious, Ronnie. Let me make it different.
So you would disappear for a year and just travel around the world.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like just to figure out what it's gonna do with the leftover money, on that year.
I like that.
it.
That is awesome.
So just give me some time to breathe, think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And refresh.
All right. So Garrett, you know which question is next. So
I
please
do.
proceed.
All right, Henderson. The zombies are coming. You get 3 draft picks from the cigar industry to be on your zombie apocalypse survival team. Who do you choose?
2 ones that
So you get to pick 3 people from the cigar industry.
I will pick like 2 guys that probably if the zombies coming like on top of me, I can throw this guy in the middle and get killed.
There's at least one of those, yeah. So who do you pick?
I will pick Ronnie. Like I running out of.
So we can talk them to
Like
death?
I running out of bullet. Give me your gun.
Or Ronnie
I love
talking
Who is the next one?
Who has guns?
Huh?
Guns. Think of guns. Who's got a lot of guns?
Who have a lot of guns? Someone out of Texas, I would say.
Mhm.
Who's out of Texas?
You got Skip Martin.
Do you think that he have a lot of guns?
Oh my gosh. The man's got a lot of
Yeah, I can throw this guy to the zombie also.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna be the last survivor.
All right.
It's
One.
just funny. It's funny. Like, nothing.
No, it's all good.
I know those people.
Oh no. Trust me. They have thick skin and yeah.
It's just because you mentioned, out of Texas, that have a lot of guns. So
So one more person.
it's 3 people.
Oh, was that 3?
Oh, 2.
That was no, you get 3 people. You get
Oh,
one more.
Yeah, you get one more.
One more. Who else?
Do you know anybody with a plane or a helicopter or a private island or
The only guy that I see flying all around Chris Roa, maybe,
Yeah, we hear his name a lot.
Good guess.
Yeah. That's the only guy that I see flying all around.
he'd be a
Or
good guy?
Hernando from Caldwell Cigar.
Does he?
Yeah, that's a guy.
Hernando.
Hernando, that is Robert Parter.
All right.
Nice. That's a good team. That's a good team right there. All right, let's jump into this week's Notable Smokable, brought to us by Luciano Cigars. Notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. So each week we name a cigar that was notable that we smoked recently. It could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that we smoked for the first time in a long time, or it could be a cigar that's brand new to the market that we smoked for the first time ever. Henderson, you're obviously smoking almost all your own stuff, but do you get a chance every once in a while to smoke something from a different brand? And if so, did you smoke something recently that stood out to you?
Actually, do you know that I got a chance to meet Luciano at the TPE last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he gave me to try one of his cigar. I was very impressed. It was pretty good.
Nice. Do you remember which one it was?
Not really.
Okay, that's all right.
Not really. I
That's
can't
all right.
remember. I smoked the cigar during the trade show, so
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to remember during the trade show. Everything moves so fast.
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Foreign Affair maybe, or
Might have been the Foreign
that was the new
Affair
one, yeah.
or the new.
yeah, and manufacturer, we do that kind of stuff that we took the labels out of the cigar, put it in the pack, and then just smoked the cigar. It was good, but I never remember what was the label.
Yeah. Garrett, did you have a notable this week?
I did. I smoked the Apostate Initiatory.
Is that new Candela?
No.
Okay. Which one is that?
It's the Apostate #1. In Toro, and I know that I'd smoked it before, but it was fantastic.
Yeah,
great cigar.
Yeah, good blends coming from those guys, definitely. Justin, notable smokable this week.
I actually went back to the Luciano Dreamer in a short Lancero version. It's like a Cigar Club exclusive size or something like that. But that one was actually really good yesterday. So
the Dreamer.
Yeah, the Dreamer.
Yeah, I love that one. My notable this week, I kind of went back to one of my budget favorites, the Foundation Charter Oak, Connecticut, from Nick Melillo. It's a good low price point, good smoking, mild Connecticut shade cigar, and smoked it this morning, actually. First cigar of the morning with my extremely strong coffee. So nice way to start the day this morning. So that was this week's Notable Smokables, brought to you by Luciano Cigars, improving lives through fine cigars. Visit lucianocigars.com to learn more. So coming attractions, we are working on, what do I have? Oh yeah, coming attractions. Thank you. Sorry about that. Brought to us by AJ Fernandez. AJ now produces unparalleled premium cigars in Esteli, Nicaragua. The AJ Fernandez portfolio of cigars provides blend strength and flavor profiles to match the preferences of any premium cigar consumer. Whether it's New World, Dias de Gloria, San Latano, Enclave, or Bellas Artes, you are sure to be satisfied with a premium cigar from AJ Fernandez. So we are working on some shows for the coming weeks. I have somebody almost confirmed for next week, but either way, we are going to have a show next week and in the coming weeks, working on getting all that stuff scheduled. But I do want to, in lieu of letting you guys know who's going to be on the show next week and the weeks following, I do want to let you guys know to continue and go back. We have some wonderful interviews and coverage from the TPE trade show last week. So make sure to go back on our YouTube channel and go back on our Facebook page so you guys can see the interviews that we did at the TPE trade show with so many of our favorite people in the cigar industry. So Henderson, Garrett, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the show this evening. And it's been a blast as always. We love learning from you, Henderson, about tobacco, and you really teach us a lot, and we definitely appreciate that as the cigar nerds that we are, to learn as much as we can. If you would give our viewers and listeners an idea, where is the best place for them to find everything out about Adventura Cigars online?
Best place, Secreto, Black Luxury. You have smoking there. Also, we just got into Corona cigar that you mentioned there also. So take a look. Secreto have like the biggest, I will say, portfolio of Aventura cigars. One of the first guy to support Aventura in the country. He have some also all the new stuff and the whole line. So I know like a King's Gold right now is one of the hard to get for Aventura. Ronnie just got a big stock of that. So take a look. Black Luxury, Smoking have the good, and some stuff that Ronnie also steal from me all the time. So,
and
what's the funniest things? I went to do an event with Ronnie the other day. So I have some stuff in the warehouse. I told Nicole that run the operation to stay like send me a couple bundle to a Ronnie shop, so I take it back to Dominican Republic. So I have like some pre-fire cigars with me. So Ronnie still.
Did he steal them?
No, when I got there, that was the deal. He was giving my cigar with. So
I love it. It's not about what you know; it's about who you know. That's. And if and Henderson, if people want to find you guys on social media, where do they go?
Instagram @Ventura Cigars, Facebook @Ventura Cigars. That's what we have, guys. Really appreciate the time with you guys. Always appreciate the opportunity, to be in your show. I feel very thankful with all the guys. Gary, thank you very much for the invitation, and all of you guys there. I'm looking forward to see you guys in the Dominican Republic one day all together, so we can have some experience of what we do here in the Dominican Republic, share around, so you guys understand better what these Ventura about, So, like we also say, we're here to stay, that we're coming back strong. Thank you very much. Keep you guys supporting Ventura. We're in a small company, but we have a lot of good things that are coming this year. So, looking for I'm gonna be in the state, traveling back and forth again. That was something that I was missing a lot. To be in touch with the people that support Ventura. So also I'm gonna be at the Great Smoke in a couple weeks. So I don't know if you guys gonna be covering there, but this is what's going on. We have Ventura for a long time.
And I got to give the people what they want.
We don't have to talk about
Ronnie
this.
brought it up, so I mean, it must be important, right?
The
Matt Thai flower.
The Matt Thai flower /
I sharpened the plan, Ronnie, already. Don't worry.
Look for updates on social media. Follow me at Robinson_Garrett on Instagram or on Facebook, Garrett Robinson. We will be doing updates on Matt Thai, the tobacco plant, and it's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, look how good the focus is on that new camera. It's that great. That focus is so good.
Oh man,
on that new camera. I couldn't resist. Yeah, we'll. You should start an Instagram account for that plant. That's
yes.
Yeah. Why did I just say that?
Oh man,
I don't know what.
I don't know if you're gonna be alive out of the Dominican Republic.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. For our viewers, guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate when you join us in the comments. It wouldn't be the same without you. You are the best part of How About That Cigar Live, and we really do appreciate it. If you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, you are also the best part of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for listening on your favorite audio podcast platform. If you guys have questions for us, you can email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Make sure to follow us on all social media at HBT Cigar. And of course, until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
See you guys.
Peace.
Any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the premium cigar industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of premium cigars.